Do can edit those origin of dry land stain water from hose. What woman would study? Think hand me.
In my whole life. And it's not just a fear of commitment or that I'm incapable of caring or loving, because I can. It's just that if I'm totally honest with myself, I think I'd rather die knowing that I was really good at something, that I had excelled in some way, than that I'd just been in a nice, caring relationship.
Yeah. But I had worked for this older man, and once he told me that he had spent all of his life thinking about his career and his work, and he was 52, and it suddenly struck him that he had never really given anything of himself. His life was for no one and nothing.
Since the day I discovered love had a fragrance my heart still grasps for the air of acceptance. And now I better understand and appreciate dust as all time spent with the wind, telling us which direction the home is. With my imaginative friend who I can't see but know she's there, to the peaceful scene we call the despair of it alone. I'm not the first distant in the time for the dis for the fear, for to remember the time for the seeds in the past there, something died there, and I did think that means its peace. Peace be still, and I like to go back there, for I did it for the you, the distance to the sun, making for the dust storms, and you're always in one in a million, for never lonely enough for the sense of direction, now shining light through those cosmos of mockery, sort of like a blood travels through inside there. Hide your face, not know but the place you can stand, all of me for the having to do right, I say what I think. When I think for that, for the love is a mirror reflecting. You're the love and the light, for her mouth of the sky open, and set free we dance and slow, for the decades of the passing seasons and the seasons drifting to the destination for the after the sunset to tables with the stars. Be by far forgotten brightest. Minds can't say what they really better left said unsaid, but they can't make me cry, for the aim is true. For so long for the now heart buried, but underground for the progressive promising next to make that bloodstream. The view is honest as the big stretching near the river for the windows across the iron bars. Wish the gloom but hear only for the birds know about the time. Make sing songs like it's too good to be true, called the feather brain for the while the other brother game slain, find the weather for the blues and the haiku can't count the number for the rhythm, but the reticule for the primitive problem to keep that core obsolete. And of course, some will be superstitious to the reprimanded for the order to color emotions have the family tongues. Listen. Don't be a faith breaker for you only steal a child. With remains for the soul, for the kids to calm that down for the idol. You can watch me out of your nose. No, it's another way to kill the time for the beaters without the way for the favorite times, and sometimes lose sight of you will become hard to remember. The age of melting ice clouds for the brain, mind kindness will be conceived for the non feeling kind of like a twilight for the needing a change of scenery. For the I pictured a different frame of mind, but that resides in waves. There's no victory in war for no grassy corners, and I need an outlet for it can't be too late to dance, and I'm telling the meaning for the hallucination to smile, for the sad sunshine to be cool. Don't hear me listening.
You know, I believe if there's any kind of God, it wouldn't be any of us. Not you and me. Just this little space in between. If there's any kind of magic in this world,
that I'm incapable of caring or loving because I can't. It's just that if I'm totally honest with myself, I think I'd rather die knowing that I was really good at something and that I had excelled in some way.
Since the day I discovered love had a fragrance my heart still grasps for the air of acceptance. And now I better understand and appreciate dust as all time spent with the wind, telling us which direction the home is. With my imaginative friend who I can't see but know she's there, to the peaceful scene we call it despair but alone. I'm not the first distant, and the time for the for the fear, for the remember the time for the seeds in the past there, something died there, and I did think that means peace. Peace be still, and I like to go back there, for I did it for the you, the distance to the sun making for the dust storms, and you're always in 1 in a million, for the never lonely enough for the sense of direction, now shining light through those cosmos and mockery, sort of like a blood travels through inside there. Hide your face, not know what place you can stand. All of me for the half of the do right, I say whether or not think. When I think for that, for the love is a mirror reflecting. You're the love and the light, for her mouth of the sky open, and set free we dance and slow, for the decades of the passing seasons and the seasons drifting to the destination for the after the sunset to tables with the stars. Be by far forgotten brightest. Minds can't say what they really better left said unsaid, but they can't make me cry, for the aim is true. For so long for the now heart buried, but underground for the progressive promising next to make that bloodstream. The view is honest as the big stretching near the river for the windows across the iron bars. Wish the gloom but hear only for the birds know about the time. Make sing songs like it's too good to be true, called the feather brain for the while the other brother game slain, find the weather for the blues and the haiku can't count the number for the rhythm, but the reticule for the primitive problem to keep that core obsolete. And of course, some will be superstitious to the reprimanded for the order to color emotions have the family tongues. Listen. Don't be a faith breaker for you only steal a child. With remains for the soul, for the kids to calm that down for the idol. You can wash me out of your nose. No, it's another way to kill the time for the beaters without the way for the favorite times, and sometimes lose sight of you will become hard to remember. The age of melting ice clouds for the brain, mind kindness will be conceived for the non feeling kind of like a twilight for the needing a change of scenery, for the I pictured a different frame of mind, but that resides in waves. There's no victory in war for no grassy corners, and I need an outlet, for it can't be too late to dance, and I'm telling the meaning for the hallucination to smile, for the sad sunshine to be cool. Don't hear me listening.
I had worked for this older man. Once he told me that he had spent all of his life thinking about his career and his work. He was 52 and his sin was stricken. That he had never really given anything of himself. His life was for no one and nothing. It was almost great saying that. You know, I believe if there's any kind of God, it wouldn't be any of us. Not you or me. We're just this little space in between. If there's any kind of magic in this world,
That I'm incapable of caring or loving because I can't. It's just that if I'm totally honest with myself, I think I'd rather die knowing that I was really good at something and that I had excelled in some way and that I'd just been in a nice, caring relationship.
Do can edit those origin of dry land, stain water from hose. What woman would study?
He had spent all of his life thinking about his career and his work, and he was 52, and it suddenly struck him that he had never really given anything of himself. His life was for no one and nothing. He was almost crying saying that. You know, I believe if there's any kind of God, it wouldn't be in any of us. Not you or me, but just this little space in between. If there's any kind of magic in this world,
That I'm incapable of caring.
Do can edit those origin of dry land, stain water from hose. What woman would study? Think, hand me guide book, distracted by pairs of roaring out bleach. This must be butterfly eyes come running, mouth full, swallow tail breath smelling. This must intent eating poison, watching through paradise dancers, accept daily evidence of passing. This is the common blues scattered from my shade. Are you fragile, so sick? Then diet restrict, keeping pointing out bearded face when angels fall. This be centuries to them body so sad you fail would dry up instantly. Though angels wings disguise selfish leaf fish shred bark who were named after stop.
Since the day I discovered love had a fragrance my heart still grasps for the air of acceptance.
The violet underside.
Now I better understand and appreciate dust as all
clenching you
time
say
spent with the
thing.
wind,
Even in the most
telling us
beautiful
which
days,
direction
seem
the
to have
home
depth
is.
in them for
With my
falling
imaginative
into
friend
love
who I
and sleep.
can't see but know
Especially
she's
like
there, to the
dark
peaceful
the
scene
hour.
we call it despair of it alone. I'm not the first distant in the time for the this for the fear for the remember the time for the season the past there something died there and I that think thou meets with peace. Peace be still, and I like to go back there, for I did it for the you, the distance to the sun, making for the dust storms, and you're always in one in a million, for never lonely enough for the sense of direction. Now shine a light through those cosmos and mockery, sort of like a blood travels through inside that. Hide your face, not know where the place you can stand. And all of me for the half of the do right that say whether or not think, when I think for that for the love is a mirror reflecting. You're the love and the light for her mouth of the sky opening to set free we dancing slow for the decades of the passing seasons and the seasons drifting to the destination for the after the sunset to tables with the stars. Be by far forgotten brightest. Minds can't say what they really better left said unsaid for they can't make me cry for the aim is true for so long for the now heart buried but underground for the progress and promising next to make that bloodstream. The view is honest as the big stretching near the river for the windows across the iron bars. Wish the gloom, but here only for the birds know about the time. Make sing songs like it's too good to be true. Call the feather brain for the while the other brother game slain. Find the weather for the blues and the haiku can't count the number for the rhythm for the reticule for the primitive problem to keep that core obsolete. And of course, some will be superstitious for the reprimanded for the only the color of emotions have the family tongues listen. Don't be a faith breaker for you only still a child. With remains for the soul, for the kids to calm that down for the idol. You can march me out of your nose. No, it's another way to kill the time for the beaters without the way for the favorite time to sometimes lose sight of you and become hard to remember. The age of melting ice clouds for the brain, mind kindness will be conceived for the non feeling kind of like a twilight for the needing a change of scenery. For the I pictured a different frame of mind that resides in the waves. There's no victory in war from no grassy corners, and I need an outlet. It can't be too late to dance, and I'm telling the meaning for the hallucination to smile, for the sad sunshine to be cool. Don't hear me listening.
Do can edit those origin of dry land stain water from hose. What woman would study? Think hand me guidebook distracted by parasol growing out bleach. This must be butterfly eyes come running mouth full swallow tail breath smelling. This must intent eating poison watching through paradise there's except daily evidence of passing. This is the common blues scatter from my shade. Are you fragile so sick then diet restrict keeping pointing out bearded face when angels fall. This be centuries to them body so sad you fail would dry up instantly through angels wings disguise selfish leaf this shred bark who were named after stop meaning of language. This must be room for the comma whose wings look battered with the violet underside of the question mark keeping in the mind clenching you say the main thing. Even in the most beautiful days to seem to have depth in them, for this would be the falling into love and sleep, especially like dark the alpines, furry the bodies with the lack of marking, and the sulfur for the yellow the scraps. You'll fall for the myth of your original vine to find the origin and clue that we find in them. That when the wonder who is still alive, we speak forth the soul to such service to ease and who would take care of us. Blend to bend to blend to find the scrappy blue sea, the back to the turn to the moon, the fluttering above you. I've been thinking of you so much. The strength this week, your mind is mine. The mind, the field of attention can be strengthened when the common, the blue, the reprinted. I am on the sharing a love song. This is we can't get along to the find the animalistic in him. The red sun rise without intent for the shine. Same with all of us with the playing the children under the sun. I find the ashes will scatter, but doesn't matter for the sun to find the innermost heart. Filling with the oblivion for the intents of defining. The word, the forest, the wanted to see. And this will be translated for me. And I can't find the hope to remember the image that you define the slapping up a fly with the sip of the dippy dope. If you're underneath the vine, to find the mark of this beneath that for the sergeant in front of the short sweet enough for the taking of whole man the iron to find the derelict for the good of the meters and finding the room for the ill on the corridor for the reaching the third floor for you can reach easier now. Emptied enough for the tank with that. Reaching out for the chairs for the northern window for the underseen and enough for the course of the bind, the dry blower, flow, for blood stains, sleeping dew, shattered pains, distant dialogue for the crossfire, for the disability opposing and finding the under door for this instant. Before that, for the opening sharply to the counterparts in a uniform, somewhere beyond the seconds of sliding away. Do can edit those origin of dry. Do can edit those origin of dry land stain water from hose. What woman would study think hand me guidebook distracted by parasol growing out bleach. This must be butterfly eyes come running mouth full swallow tail breath smelling. This must intent eating poison watching through paradise there's except daily evidence of passing. This is the common blues scatter from my shade. Are you fragile so sick then diet restrict keeping pointing out bearded face when angels fall. This be centuries to them body so sad you fail would dry up instantly through angels wings disguise selfish leaf this shred bark who were named after stop meaning of language. This must be room for the comma whose wings look battered with the violet underside of the question mark keeping in the mind clenching you say the main thing. Even in the most beautiful days to seem to have depth in them, for this would be the falling into love and sleep, especially like dark the alpines, furry the bodies with the lack of marking, and the sulfur for the yellow the scraps. You'll fall for the myth of your original vine to find the origin and clue that we find in them. That when the wonder who is still alive, we speak forth the soul to such service to ease and who would take care of us. Blend to bend to blend to find the scrappy blue sea, the back to the turn to the moon, the fluttering above you. I've been thinking of you so much. The strength this week, your mind is mine. The mind, the field of attention can be strengthened when the common, the blue, the reprinted. I am on the sharing a love song. This is we can't get along to the find the animalistic in him. And the red sun rise without intent for the shine. Same with all of us with the playing the children under the sun. I find the ashes will scatter, but doesn't matter for the sun to find the innermost heart. Filling with the oblivion for the intents of defining. The war, the forest, the winter, the sea. And this will be translated for me. And I can't find that hope to remember the image so that you can find the slapping up a fly for the sip of the dippy dough for the feel under the underneath the vine to find the arc to this beneath that for the sergeant to find the short sweet enough for the taking of old men to find the derelict for the good of the meters and finding the room for the along the corporate door for the reaching the third floor for you can breach easier now. You emptied enough for the tangle that. Reaching out for the chairs, for the unnorthern window, for the underseen enough for the course of the vine to dry, blow or flow, for blood stains, sleeping dew, shatter pains, distant dialogue, for the crossfire, for the district opposing them finding the other door for this to the instant. Before that, for the opening sharply to the counterparts in a uniform, somewhere beyond the seconds of sliding away. Do can edit those origin of dry land stain water from hose. What woman would study? Think hand me guide book distracted by parasol brewing out bleach. This must be butterfly eyes come running mouth full swallow tail breath smelling. This must intent eating poison, watching through paradise there's except daily evidence of passing. This is the common blues scatter from my shade. Are you fragile, so sick? Thin diet restrict, keeping pointing out bearded face when angels fall. This be centuries to them body so sad you fail would dry up instantly through angels wings disguise selfish leaf this shred bark who are named after stop meaning of language. This must be room for the comma whose wings look better for the violet underside of the question mark keeping in the mind clenching. You say the main thing even in the most beautiful days to seem to have depth in them for this would be the falling into love and sleep especially like dark the alpines furry the bodies with the lack of marking and the sulfur for the yellow the scraps. You'll fall for the myth of your original vine to find the origin the clue that we find in them the wonder who is still alive. We speak forth the soul the such surface to ease and who would take care of us blend to find the scrappy blue sea the back to the turn to the moon the fluttering above you. I've been thinking of you so much the strength this week your mind is mine the mind the field of attention can be strengthened when the common the blue the reprinted I am on the sharing the love song. This is we can't get along to find the animalistic in him. And the red sun rise without intent for the shine. Same with all of us with the playing the children under the sun. I find the ashes will scatter, but doesn't matter for the sun to find the innermost heart. Filling with the oblivion for the intents of defining. The war, the forest, the winter, the sea. And this will be translated for me.